Hello everyone, this is Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 5A of our CSA season for 2024. One quick announcement, July 4th pickup will be as usual, so there isn't an alternate date. Tuesday I think is the 2nd and the 4th is a Thursday. So if you have Thursday pickup, you will be picking up on July 4th. The only difference is pickup will end at 6 p.m. just to give our farmers a break after the crazy day that they have. So just make sure you're picking up by 6 p.m. on July 4th. All right, jumping right into this week's share, we have a lot of repeat items and some new items as well. We have cucumbers, which we had last week. These get stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer. The slicing cucumbers and then the Kirby cucumbers. Both really good on salads, just sliced as a side, a nice fresh side. I just like to slice them and throw them on the table for a snack for the kids. We'll probably put some in our salad tomorrow night. Also great, the Kirby cucumbers are good to make pickles out of. What else? Pretty sure there's a cucumber salsa on the blog. There's quick fridge cucumbers, and you can always do just a cucumber salad, which just is like cucumbers, onions, garlic. So that's cucumbers. We also have summer squash. A variety of different summer squash. These get stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer as well. These are really good. You can eat them raw or cooked. You can grill them, you can saute them, you can throw them into stir fry, you can throw them on sheet pan meals. You can shred them up and freeze them to sieve them. Really good in baked goods. So lots of ways you can use summer squash. I know there's a ton of recipes on the blog or on the website that include summer squash. So take a look at that if you're looking for something different. We have lettuce. So our romaine lettuce gets stored in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag or a Ziploc bag if you have one big enough. Do not wash it until you're ready to use it. Obviously really good in salads, but also the leaves are a little bit hardier. So the leaves are good for burgers, for sandwiches. You can actually use the leaf as a vessel instead of bread. So almost like a wrap or like a taco. You can throw like chicken salad, tuna salad, egg salad just on the lettuce leaf itself because it's hardy enough. So these get stored in the fridge. We have collard greens. Collard greens, can throw them in a Debbie Meyer green bag. They're very large. Collards are really good blanched, so you can do a quick blanch and use them as a wrap. I know there's a collard green wrap on the recipe, the recipes for the farm. You can also just saute them. So lots of greens that we have this week. You can just use the recipe from last week, which was our simple sauteed greens. Switch up your greens that you're using, or use the PDF that we created that I shared on Friday. So that just kind of gives you a basic idea of what to use for anything you're simply sauteing, like any of your greens that you're sauteing. So these are our collard greens. They're really good sauteed with like bacon. They're really good and hearty as a vessel to make a wrap with. So they're also good shredded in soups. Another green that you can saute is dandelion greens. There's a great recipe on the blog for dandelion greens. You can also eat dandelion greens raw. So you can do a dandelion green salad. Would be a little bit more bitter than our lettuce, but gives you a different flavor. Dandelion greens are full of amazing nutrients. So try a lot of different recipes if you're not the biggest fan of them. Try them raw, try them cooked, try them quickly blanched, try them paired with different things. So a lot of our bitter greens are really good when you pair them with something sweeter. So apples, pears, dates, raisins, things like that. This gets stored in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag. Wash it once you're ready to use it. Okay. We have scallions again. So we've had scallions, I think, actually since the very beginning. Scallions get stored in the fridge either in a bag or in a glass of water. So you can store them upright in a glass of water. These are great as garnish. You can, I talked a few weeks ago about just simply drying them. So if you still have scallions left over from last week, chop them up, throw them in your dehydrator or throw them in your oven on a really low temperature and dry them so that you have them throughout the winter. These are good as a garnish. They're good just chopped up on top of salads, on top of, they would pair really well with the potatoes this week. So lots of ways to use those, our scallions. We have our salad greens. Salad greens are stored just like this in the fridge. Do not wash them until you're ready to use them. Best used, probably this we want to use first. So you want to use this before you use the romaine. Once you're ready to use it, throw it into a big bowl of water or fill your sink with water. Let it soak in the cold water for a couple minutes, pull it out, drain it, and then I usually throw it in my salad spinner, get all the moisture off, and then dress it. It's good just as a side, just dressed as is, nothing added to it, or you can add a bunch of other things to it and make it a little bit of a heartier salad, your choice. Remember to change up the way you dress your greens, and then you're gonna change the flavor of what you're having. Okay, a couple more items. We have sugar snap peas. Sugar snap peas we got to pick. Remember you had to pick the fat ones. These get stored in the fridge in either a Tupperware or a Ziploc bag. I never ever store them. We will wash them and clean them up, and I'll throw them on the table tonight, and as the kids come in and out, they'll just eat them up. But they are really good. So our favorite way obviously is eaten raw just as a snack, but they are really good in stir fries and just simply sauteed as a side. We have broccoli. Broccoli is best stored in a Ziploc bag or a Debbie Meyer green bag in your fridge. Once you're ready to use it, soak it in salt water for like 20 to 30 minutes. It'll really clean it well. Pull it out of the salt water, dry it, chop it up. The entire thing is edible, so you can eat broccoli raw. You can saute it. You can throw it into, there's a lot of vegetables that are really good for a stir fry. So maybe work on a stir fry this week if you want to use up a bunch of vegetables. So really good in a stir fry, really good just sauteed or on a sheet pan thrown into the oven. So that's our broccoli. 3 more items. So we have garlic scapes. Garlic scapes get stored in the fridge. I usually throw them in a Debbie Meyer green bag or a Ziploc bag. I do still have some from last week, so I'll probably freeze a bunch. In order to freeze it, I usually chop them up just so that they're ready and diced for me to use once I pull them out of the freezer. So I dice them up, throw them into a Ziploc bag, throw them in the freezer, and they're good. It's a way to preserve them. This week's recipe is going to use, I believe, quite a few of the vegetables from this week's share. So stay tuned for that on Thursday. Garlic scapes can be thrown on your salad raw. There's some dressings. You can throw them into your dressings. You can use them just like you would use garlic. They're just milder. So I use a lot more because I love garlic. So can be sauteed, can be thrown on sheet pans, can actually be grilled the way they are. So I just kind of coat them in a little bit of oil and throw them right on the grill. And it's kind of a fun side because they're all curly and neat looking. So options there. We have fennel. Fennel gets stored in the fridge the same as our other greens. Throw it into a Debbie Meyer green bag or a Ziploc bag. The fronds are really great for like a garnish. You can chop them up and throw them into your salads. Your bottoms are really good grilled. They're also good caramelized. You can roast them. You can also eat them raw. So when I eat them raw, I like to shave them really thin and throw them on top of a salad, or you could just make this the base of your salad and thinly slice them, maybe with some onions and garlic and a light dressing, and serve that as a side raw. So raw, cooked, doesn't matter, lots of options for fennel. You can also make fennel sun tea, and that's on the blog. So the licoricey flavor pairs really well with like a cold sun tea. So there's a recipe on the blog for that. Last but not least, we have new potatoes. Our new potatoes are slightly different than the potatoes that have been cured. So these are not cured. They just came from the earth and were picked by our farmers. So they need to be stored in the fridge. And they will not last as long as our other potatoes. So you want to use them probably within the next 2 weeks. They never last that long for us. We love new potatoes. These can be chopped up and turned into like a breakfast hash. They can be roasted. You can grill them. You can boil them and make a potato salad with some fresh herbs. Lots of ways to use the potatoes. Take a look at your fridge and your counters for anything that's left over from last week or 2 weeks ago. If you are a half share person, use those items up first, or figure out how you're gonna use those in your meals this week, and then focus on this week's produce. First thing you wanna use is the salad mix. So that's it. If you have any questions, any great recipes you're finding, make sure you post them on our Facebook group, and I will see you guys all next week.